Good morning, Primary 5. Today we are going to take story The Secret Garden. The Secret Garden. Chapter 4. Chapter 4 is on the same name, The Secret Garden. Now let's listen to the chapter.
Chapter 4. The Secret Garden. In the morning the rain stopped. The sky was a deep, clear blue. When Martha went to help her mother in the cottage, Mary went outside. She went to see Ben in the kitchen garden. "Spring is coming, Miss Mary," he said as he leaned on his spade. "Can you smell the soil? It's getting ready to grow things. Soon you'll see the first green shoots coming up." Then Mary heard the rustling of wings. And there was the robin. He pushed out his red chest. "Do you think he remembers me?" she asked.
Robin.
"Of course he does. He's never seen a little girl before.
Yes.
He wants to know all about you." "Ben, you know the garden with the locked door? The garden where the robin lives? Will there be green shoots in there? Will there be roses?" Ben picked up his spade and started to dig. "Ask him," he said. "No one else has been in there for 10 years. "I was born 10 years ago," thought Mary. As she walked away from the kitchen garden, she thought about all her new friends, Ben and Martha and the robin. Having friends was a new idea for Mary. Then she saw the robin again. He was hopping about in a flower bed. "Ben was right. You do remember me," whispered Mary softly. The robin hopped up to a little hole in the soil. "He's looking for worms to eat," Mary thought. She went nearer. And then she saw something sticking up from the hole.
Oh.
She reached out her hand and touched it. It was made of metal, and it felt rusty and damp. She pulled it out. It was a key.
Wow.
Mary gasped. Was it? Could it be the key to the secret garden? She put it in her pocket. "I'll carry it all the time," she decided. "If I find the door, I'll be ready. The secret garden will be my garden. No one else will know about it." In the morning, Martha told Mary about her day at the cottage. "Mother and I did the washing," she said, "and then we made little cakes for the children. They ate them when they came in from the moor. The hot cakes smelled so nice, and we had a good fire. In the evening, we mended clothes, and I told the children all about you, Miss Mary, the little girl from India who couldn't put on her own clothes." "India is different from England," said Mary. "If they want to hear more, you could tell them I have had a ride on an elephant, and there are tiger hunts."
Wow.
"They would love to hear about elephants and tigers," said Martha. "But Mother is worried about you, all alone in this great big place. She says I must try to cheer you up. Look, I've brought you a present." She held out a skipping rope with a blue and red handle at each end. Mary stared at it.
Let me explain to you. Now, Martha lives in a cottage. It's a house, kind of houses, with her family, and they are all 12. So they are a large number for a small house, but they are happy. Martha took some days. She went to her house, to clean it and to do some house work with her mother. She did the washing. They cleaned the clothes, and she told her brothers and sisters about Mary, who came from India and she couldn't do anything with herself. Okay, Now, Mary told her that she can tell them that Mary one day rode on an elephant, and there are tiger hunts in India. Okay, so Martha's mother was feeling sorry for Mary because she was alone in this big house. Okay, and she asked Martha to take care after to look after Mary. Okay, and she gave her a present, a skipping rope. This rope, as in the picture here, we used to jump over it. Okay, we use it to jump. It's called the skipping rope. It has a handle at each side, and there is a rope between. We use it to jump and run, or hopping يعني. Okay, now let's continue.
What is it? She asked. Haven't you ever seen a skipping rope before? Don't they have skipping ropes in India? Martha ran into the middle of the room and started to skip. 1, 2, 3. She didn't stop until she had reached 100.
Wow.
Could I learn to skip like that? Asked Mary. Try it, said Martha, handing her the rope. You will need to practice. Mother said it would do you good, skipping and breathing good fresh air. It will make your arms and legs grow strong.
Yes.
Mary put on her hat and coat and put her skipping rope over her arm. At the door, she stopped. Thank you, Martha, she said. I know that you don't have much money for presents. You're a strange child, Miss Mary, said Martha. Mary skipped and counted and counted and skipped. The sun was shining and she could smell the damp soil. Mary Lennox was enjoying herself. She skipped past the ivy-covered wall and into the kitchen garden. Ben was digging and talking to the robin. You've got some red in your cheeks at last, he said to Mary. The robin put his head on one side and looked at her with his bright little eyes. I've never skipped before, she replied. Now I can reach 100. She skipped round all the gardens, the key heavy in her pocket. She skipped back to the ivy-covered wall. There was the robin, sitting on a branch. You showed me where the key was yesterday, said Mary. Will you show me the door today? The robin flew up to the top of the wall and started to sing. Then there was a gust of wind. The curtain of ivy was blown away from the wall.
Wow.
And underneath it, Mary saw a handle, a door handle,
Now.
and next to it, a lock. She took the key from her pocket and stretched out her arm, her hand shaking. The key fitted. She turned it and pushed the door open. She stepped into the secret garden. Everything was still and silent. The robin stopped singing, and Mary looked around. The garden was tangled and overgrown, but nothing was green. She had seen roses in India, and although there were no flowers, she knew that these long grey stems were rose plants. But were they alive or dead? She skipped along the path which ran round the garden. In one place, she saw some green shoots. Perhaps they were snowdrops or daffodils. She put down her skipping rope and walked slowly round the garden. She found more green shoots, but they didn't have room to grow because of the grass and the weeds. Mary took off her coat and set to work. While she was eating her lunch, Mary spoke to Martha. She said, I wish I had a little spade. Then I could dig in the garden like Ben Weatherstaff, the gardener. And if I had some seeds, I could plant them and make them grow. I've got enough money to buy them. Of course, she said nothing about the secret garden. Martha thought it was a good idea. "There's a little shop in the village," she said. "I think they sell garden tools, and I know they sell seeds. Dickon often goes there. He knows which seeds to get and how to make them grow. You could write a letter to Dickon and ask him to get the things for you. I'll give the letter to him." Mary wrote the letter and put it in an envelope with the money. "Will Dickon bring the things?" asked Mary. "I would like to see him." "I'm sure he will, Miss Mary."
Now we have ended our chapter. I hope you enjoyed listening. Now let's read the summary. In this chapter, Mary discovers the secret garden by the help of Robin, of course. So Robin helped her to find the key and the door of the secret garden. Then she entered inside and she didn't tell anyone, but she decided to clean up the garden and to make it grow again. Okay, so she asked Martha about a spade, like the one Mr. Benwether staff holds, and she asked about some seeds. So Martha told her if she can write a letter to Dickon, he can buy her all these things from the village, from a shop in the village. Now let's read the summary. Chapter 4: The Secret Garden. The rain stopped. Martha went to help her mother in the cottage, so Mary decided to go to the kitchen garden. The gardener told her about the spring, and Robin was happy because he didn't see a girl before. The bird Robin became Mary's friend. He helped her to find the garden's key. Mary was happy and started to play with a skipping rope. Then she met Robin again, and he told her about the door of the garden after she had asked. She found the ivy-covered wall and opened the door. She found that it was so beautiful. There were small plants, flowers, green trees. She told Martha that she needed to buy many tools to work in the garden. She wanted to buy seeds to grow them. Dickon will do this for her. Now, let's take the answer the questions. Number 1. Where did Martha go and why? Where did Martha go? She went to the cottage. Why? To help her mother. Where did Martha go? She went to the cottage. Why? To help her mother. Number 2. Who were Mary's new friends? Martha, Robin, Ben and Dickon. Martha, Robin, Ben and Dickon. Who were Martha's new friends? Martha, Robin, Ben and Dickon. Number 3. How did Robin help Mary? He helped her to find the key and the door of the secret garden. He helped her to find the key and the door of the secret garden. Number 4. How did India different from England? In India, you can ride an elephant, but not in England. In India, you can ride an elephant, but not in England. Okay, this is how India is different from England. Okay, number 5. How was the secret garden? The garden was tangled. Tangled means the branches are over each other, like a tangle. Okay? When you tangle your hair, you make a braid on your hair. So this means tangle, they are over each other. The branches are over each other. Okay? So the garden was tangled and overgrown, but nothing was green, no flowers, but there were some green shoots. Shoots means little stems, small stems of plant. Okay, the garden was tangled and overgrown. The garden was tangled and overgrown. Nothing was green, no flowers, but there were some green shoots. Nothing was green, no flowers, but there were some green shoots. How was the secret garden? The garden was tangled and overgrown. Nothing was green, no flowers, but there were some green shoots. Number 6. What did Mary need to buy? Tools for gardening. Tools for gardening. So, what did Mary need to buy? Tools for gardening. Complete. Number 1. Mary saw Ben in the kitchen garden. Mary saw Ben. Mary saw Ben in the kitchen garden. Number 2. The key felt rusty and damp. Rusty means very old. Okay, and damp means wetty because it's inside the soil. Okay, so it was rusty and damp مش dump, damp with a D-A-M-P. Okay, correct it, D-A-M-P. Number 3, let's say number 2 again. The key felt rusty and damp. The key felt rusty and damp. D-A-M-P, damp. D-A-M-P. Number 3. Mary held out a skipping rope with a blue and red handle at each end. Mary held out a skipping rope with a blue and red handle at each end. Number 4. The garden was tangled and overgrown. The garden was tangled and overgrown. This chapter is very easy, but you need to study it more and more, okay? Because we have a lot of new words. Okay. Sorry. Again, the complete. Mary saw Ben in the kitchen garden. Number 2, the key felt rusty, R-U-S-T-Y, rusty, R-U-S-T-Y, rusty, and damp, D-A-M-P. Correct the word. Damp means wetty, okay? D-A-M-P, damp. Number 3, Mary held out a skipping rope with a blue and red handle at each end. Handle, H-A-N-D-L-E, handle, H-A-N-D-L-E, handle. Number 4, the garden was tangled and overgrown. The garden was tangled and overgrown. Now let's take the unanswered questions. Number 1, why was Martha's mother worried? Why was she worried? Because Mary lived alone in the big house. Because Mary lived alone in the big house. Why was Martha's mother worried? Because Mary lived alone in the big house. Number 2, why was Robin happy? Why was Robin happy? Because it was the first time to see a girl. Because it was the first time to see a girl. Okay? Study it well. Number 3, how was Robin helpful for Mary? Okay? It's like the question in the last page. Okay? He helped her to find the key and the door of the secret garden. He helped her to find the key and the door of the secret garden. Now, complete. Number 1, the robin hopped up to a little hole in the soil. It's a soil, it's not just a ground. It's a soil where we plant our plants. So we plant the plants in the soil, not on the normal ground. Okay? So the robin hopped up to a little hole in the soil. The robin hopped up to a little hole in the soil. S-O-I-L, soil. S-O-I-L, soil. So we plant our plants in a soil. muddy place. Number two, mother and I did the washing. Mother and I did the washing. washing, washing. Washing. The last one, if I had some seeds, if I had some seeds, I could plant them and make them grow. If I had some seeds, I would I could plant them and make them grow. Seeds, long E, S-E-E-D-S, seeds, S-E-E-D-S, seeds, and make them grow, G-R-O-W, grow, G-R-O-W, grow. Now, thank you for listening and see you again. Bye bye.